McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. Ooh. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. I participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy David with Black Wealth Renaissance, and I'm here today to tell you guys about Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the best place to make a podcast. Anchor is a free app that has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone. Anchor also distributes your podcast across all major platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many others. You can also make money on your podcast with Anchor with no minimum listenership. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if you're looking to get started on your own podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm.
Are you looking to sell or buy your home? Or looking for an investment property? Look no further. BlackWealthRenaissance.com offers a free realtor directory with realtors located across the country to help you meet your goals. Just go to BlackWealthRenaissance.com and select Realtor Directory under Resources. That's BlackWealthRenaissance.com and select Realtor Directory under Resources.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Our goal of this podcast is to normalize Black wealth and share helpful resources and tips we believe will be useful in attaining and maintaining generational wealth. Please feel free to rate and comment on our podcast. We would love to hear all feedback you have. Now, enjoy the show.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Your boy, David Bellard, checking in with my co-host, Fella. How you doing?
What's good? What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Jalen. Happy to be here. Special episode. Man, this is lit, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's crazy in here. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? It's Jared checking in with the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. What you doing over there, Kelly?
What's going on, guys? Sadly, I can't be in New Orleans with all y'all, but, business as usual.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to silence the phone.
Yeah. We're going to silence the phones. But yeah, Kelly just mentioned it. We couldn't be here. We in New Orleans. We pulled up to New Orleans. Another super special day.
Man, our brothers out of Chicago pulled up in New Orleans, too. So,
hey,
it's a special episode, man. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's going on, man? Just got off the plane, came straight to the studio.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Anthony here, man. I'm saying, hey, I want y'all to know, y'all can't see us right now. You listening to this podcast? The energy level is high because we just doing special things. We linking.
Yeah. And we talking about the Downings brothers out of Chicago.
You may have seen them on HGTV.
Yeah.
Out here flipping houses, doing great things.
Yeah, let's go.
Anthony and Anton, how y'all doing, man?
Man, hey, it's a blessing to be here. Yeah, it's hot. It's super hot in New Orleans, man. I came off the plane like I thought it was warm in Chicago.
Southern heat.
Louisiana, bro. We'll tell you that much, man. Yeah, our weather is definitely crazy around here, bro. Like,
yeah, we got a different type of heat down here, but y'all got a different type of winter up there, man.
Yo,
I didn't get to taste it all completely with Nebraska, but I got a little taste. I was scared. They said it hit -30 up there.
Hey, man, don't come to Chicago in February, bro.
Thank you for that. I won't be there. But yeah, man, like, we just happy to have y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. We're so happy we can really connect real life, man. We just happy to have you guys here, man. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna start off the podcast really how we start off every podcast. Just introduce the audience to who you are for those that don't know. Kind of how you guys got started on your journey to what you're doing.
Okay. Well, this is Anton here, and we got started like 12 years ago as becoming real estate investors. But at the time, it was more about like, oh, now that we're out of college, we need to have somewhere to live, or let's buy some stuff. Yeah, I mean, the challenge to me was from my mother. My mother's like, you're not a real man until you own the floors you walk on, because she saw how geeked and happy I was by getting that first paycheck. You know what I'm saying? I got my first real job. And I felt like the man. And then she was like, nah, you're not the man until you own the floors you walk on. And then, like that ego challenge was like, whoa, hey, I really have to reevaluate what my goals are. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you get that first check, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ball out. I'm gonna be in the club. I'm gonna floss on them. I'm gonna go ahead and get these clothes. I'm gonna be on the women, all that kind of stuff. And then
go back to the university, stunt on everybody.
Yeah, go back to school.
You got a real job now.
Yeah,
I'm still broke.
Yeah, go back to home. You already know. Come back to homecoming and say, hey, y'all see me now? You know what I'm saying? But no, like for real, that was like 2005. And then it took me 2 years, to basically save up the money. You got to save up your capital and then get my credit straight and really take it serious about being in position to buy my first property. And so by the time 2007 got here, then it was like, okay, let me buy this first property. Ended up finding this condo for like $150,000. And it was used the FHA loan, 3.5% down. Came to closing with about a little over $4,000. So I always like giving numbers so people can understand and take the fear out of it and the mystery out of like how much it would actually cost to buy a property. So it was 150. Came to closing with like $4,000. It was a newly renovated condo in a condo building. So it was turnkey, so I didn't have to do any work. And I was really proud of myself. I was like, I'm 25, I got my first property. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know a whole lot of people my age that, was able to pull that off because a lot of people are scared or they just don't set it as a goal. Unfortunately, a year later, the recession hits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that part. You know what I'm saying? Because we super excited about, about Obama and, you're going to have the first black president and this, that, and the other. Couldn't wait to get to the voting booth. But during that whole election, that's when everybody was talking, the economy was collapsing. And, my property went from being worth $150,000 to being worth 30. God, 30,000. Yeah. So yeah. Now look, my credit. Now my credit score, for those of you know how important credit is. My credit score was over 700, and so as long as I continue to pay my bills and pay my mortgage or whatever, my credit stay up. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't have any equity. I'm paying this mortgage for a property that if I tried to sell it, I couldn't get any money on. Yeah. So I started doing research. Right? I mean, I went to school. The whole thing about going to college is like becoming a problem solver and doing research.
Yeah.
So
that's what he always said too. The most important skill we got from college is being able to learn and conduct research. Being able to say what's factual. Let me find a credible source. So I'm glad you mentioned that, bro. Yeah,
and then plus we in the age of Google. Come on now, like you got all these search engines. It's like you don't have to sit there and think to yourself like I don't know where to go to get help. It's like, help is right there on your phone or, go on Google. So anyway, I started doing the research, started listening to podcasts. That's when I learned the value of podcasts like this podcast. It's like you can go there and you can listen to other people's experiences and you don't have to necessarily mess up the way that other people did in the past. So
it's like learning from people's failures, man.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, we talk about the Black Wealth Renaissance. That's what that is. Like coming listening to this podcast and people learning from our experience. Yeah. Because there's somebody out there right now has never bought a property or owns a property that's underwater or whatever, as they say, underwater meaning like it's worth less than what you bought it for, and they don't know what to do. So what I did is I did all my research and I found out about a different financial product called a 203K renovation loan, and it's also an FHA loan, 3.5% down. Now the thing is, you really can't have two FHA loans at the same time, but there was a loophole, and that's what you got to find out about. The loopholes. If you know the rules to the game, then like, oh, this is possible too. So the loophole was because I was in a condo, I can still get another FHA loan for a detached single family home. Because I was in a condo.
Free game alert. Free game alert.
Yeah. So like if had I been in a single family home, I wouldn't have been able to get another single family home. But because I was in a condo, I qualified. And as long as my credit was up, which it was, because I never stopped making my payments. Everybody else was like letting their house, letting their properties go and going on a foreclosure. That's a 7-year hit to your credit. But if you do a short sale, it's a 2-year hit to your credit. Okay. So through my research, I knew I could get the FHA loan, the 203K loan, buy a single family home, renovate it, and then sit on it as the market recovers. Because in my mind, this ain't gonna last forever. It'll recover, and then the equity will build. Yeah. And then after 2 years, I also found out that if you own a primary residence, when you sell it, there's no capital gains tax on your primary residence. Okay. So I'm like, okay, 2-year hit to my credit for the short sale, 2 years later, I can sell this property, no capital gains tax. It coincides with each other. That's research. That's lining up this information with this information to put a game plan together. Yeah. So once I figured that out, I'm up here like, yo, I feel genius now. And my credit is right. And I had saved up the money to be able to get the next property. You know what I'm saying? And this is not even knowing that this was going to lead to being able to buy multi-unit properties and start flipping houses, hard money loans, the renovations. We rarely, when we on these podcasts, we rarely talk about the flips.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theater.
Because to me, what's more important is the genesis. You know what I'm saying? The beginning of the story is more important. Because if not for what we did in the beginning, everything that we got going on now would have never been possible. Man, and let me tell y'all, man, like the whole time that he was going through this, I was sitting there with my bowl of popcorn, like, yeah, I'm never. At the time, I was thinking to myself, I'm never gonna buy a condo or a single family. I'm going straight for the 3-piece.
Why? Because it was on that shirt.
Cash, absolutely right. Cash flow. That's like 3 units right there. And the cash flow on, because I bought for 150. Yeah, he filled me. When I bought my 3-unit building, I bought it for $153,000, which was the same amount that he paid for his condo in a better, quote unquote, better neighborhood that ended up turning upside down. So. Better is relative, right? You never know. Run them numbers for him on that. So for $153,000, I got a 3-unit building that I had to bring to close $1,250. $1,250. Can y'all say that?
Like the artist. Hold on. Rewind.
I need you to put that like number while like.
Why was it? There's multiple reasons why.
Okay.
One, your earnest money is generally 1% of the total cost. So that means I put up $1,500 for my earnest money, which and your earnest money goes towards your down payment. Okay. It's an FHA loan, which is 3.5%. So that was 1% of that 3.5%. Then I had my realtor, shout out to Rachel Ruffin, she did all our deals and whatnot. Look, she was able to ask for she asked for 6% seller contributions to my closing costs, and the guy, came back with a counter offer of $3,000 or I think it was $3,000. But between the $3,000 and then the $1,500 for my earnest money and then the $1,250 that I brought to the closing, that was it.
So that was less than $3,000.
That was less than $3,000 out of my pocket.
For a 3-unit building,
right?
What was the cash flow?
The garden unit is $950 a month, and then the first floor and the second floor are both $1,100.
So what's the cash flow?
So the
cash flow.
Yeah, the cash flow is about $3,000.
That's crazy.
So you telling me you didn't even spend $3,000 and now you make it
$3,000 a month?
Yeah, but remember that the mortgage was $1,200.
Right.
And then landscaping and property management
so
fee.
the cash flow is $1,500.
Yeah, the cash flows closer to $1,500.
Still good. You still less than that to the closing table.
Absolutely. Right, and the reason, a major reason why is one, I already knew I was gonna buy a property in our own neighborhood. Yeah. So many people, like we went to a PWI, University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, and you see all, your classmates driving BMWs and Mercedes, and they talking about the properties they're gonna buy, on the north side.
What restaurant?
And all of that stuff. But I was like, man, I'm not trying to hit a home run. If I hit a single or a double, consistently, month after month after month, it's still going to build my wealth. It doesn't need to be something like crazy lucrative or crazy risky.
Yeah, like
this property was nothing risky about this property.
No shit, you're getting a 50% return after your first month in. And you didn't have to do any renovations to it, right?
I didn't have to, but I did. Okay. So then I put $5,000 into each unit to update the kitchens and the bathrooms.
Okay.
So all in you at what, $18,000?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now here we are 5 years later. You still got the building.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now you got equity.
Yeah.
And still cash flow.
And get this part, man. I put Section 8 tenants in 2 out of those 3 units. And my Section 8 tenants have never torn up anything.
Yeah.
You know how people be so
That stigmatism.
against, Section 8 people?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
know you're feeling me right there.
there.
We should, because like by and large, folks want to act. They were both of those tenants are black, black women, right? Section 8 is not mostly black people, but we get all of this stigmatism because of the black experience getting dumped onto
Section 8,
all of that. Even though we're not even the ones using most of that.
Well, let me say this. No matter whether a tenant is market rate or if they're Section 8, you still have to interview them. You still have to get a feel for their experience. You have to look at where they've lived previously. You go through all the due diligence, the criminal background, this, that, and the other. And then you make a decision on that person, on whether you believe, with all the information you've gathered, whether they're market rate or whether they Section 8, because market rate tenants will mess all your stuff up too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all circumstantial. The advantage of Section 8, though, is if you do your due diligence and you really feel good about the situation with that tenant and their family or whatever they're bringing into that unit, you got guaranteed money coming from Section 8. You know the money's coming, and all you got to do is make sure that you keep your property in compliance. You know what I'm saying, as far as the conditions, in the home, because you have to have a certain amount of outlets. The windows have to be a certain way. The paint has to be updated. All the different things that you have to do to be in compliance with Section 8. If everything is right and you've done your due diligence and you've interviewed, you won't have a problem with a Section 8 tenant. It's not Section 8 that you're worried about. It's the individual, not how they're paying for their rent.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You gotta look past that stigma.
Now, I do have one other question, though, because I'm already feeling the complaint coming up before we even release the episode. So what's going to be, is it worth it to keep the property in compliance monetary-wise? Like, is it worth it for what you're making for the rent via Section 8? Not asking for your numbers or anything, but like, is it worth it to keep it in compliance and keep it up to date? Because a lot of people will be like, well, I could just not change out that HVAC system, and then that's a little bit more money I could save, and then market.
No, it's worth it for multiple reasons. One, you have to think long term. You can't be thinking short term when you're in real estate, especially if you have a cash flowing rental property. By keeping it in compliance, you actually are making sure that property is going to be worth more in the end. So you're increasing the likelihood that the property is going to appreciate. And at some point when you're ready to sell it, instead of you having to come and go put $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in renovation so that you can get top dollar, you've been incrementally making these repairs through the process. So it's like, would you like to spend a little bit of money every year to stay in compliance, or do you want to spend a big lump sum at the end, which is a lot of work and a lot of time at the end to be able to sell the property?
Got you. So almost like that person who saves monthly for their car budget, like maintenance, versus like just having to pull out a whole shelling for new tires at one time.
Yeah, right. I mean, maintenance is always better. People think so short-sighted because they want to keep so much money in their pocket right now. Nah, man, like, you got to think long-term, and long-term is doing that maintenance. Even think about your own body, like, what you eat, how you work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these things are about what you do on a daily basis, a monthly basis. Not, I'll need to do this crash diet and try to make everything happen in 30 days. No, just do what you need to do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So what type of paperwork and stuff that you have to fill out to get started in doing Section 8 tenants?
What type of
paperwork?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like when you go to get pre-approved at a mortgage company?
No, for Section 8.
Voucher.
For
the voucher. For the voucher. Yeah.
Did this like 5 years ago. Well, in Chicago, there's a Section 8 office, and to me, it's better to go to the office than it is to try to do it online, especially in Chicago, man. They have like
a lot of these offices.
Right. These websites are backwards, man. So I went into the office and got the paperwork, did the paperwork right there with the lady. I was being super nice to her. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I'm single, I don't know how you want to go with that, but I really think in person is a lot better, because they'll take your paperwork right in there, and then you'll know when somebody's going to come out to your property to inspect it, because they have to inspect it first before you get the tenant.
Okay, so what's the process like that of going through, if you wanted to sign up and say, hey, I got a property I want to rent out and I want to go through Section 8. So you just go to the Section 8 office and just tell them that, then they start the inspection process?
Right, like, yeah, because you get them your address and you filling out these
zoning codes or nothing.
No. It's like these little checklists of, do you have lead, chip lead in there? You be like, no, and I forget. It's like a checklist. It's a whole checklist of questions they ask, and then to me, it's like, oh, you gonna ask me all of this stuff, but you still about to send out a person out anyway to make sure you're not lying. But then and then it happens annually. But after they approve your unit, then you're on Craigslist or social media or however you're getting your tenants. A lot of realtors are leasing agents too.
Yeah, but let's talk about property management.
Yeah. Actually, that's how I got those tenants was through a leasing agent. But subsequently, like about a year and a half after I got that property, that's when we got a property manager. And now our property manager does all of it for me. She does all my CHA inspections for me. She makes acts for rental increases every year on my behalf.
Okay.
She does all that stuff, so I don't even have to. I don't think about it really.
Right. So
how much do you have to pay her? Because I know
5%.
Be like, oh, they don't
5%. 5%.
Yeah.
Now 5% is pretty much as low as you're gonna get, because like industry standard is somewhere between 7 and 10%.
Yeah, that's
but it's all about negotiation.
Right.
We come in and say, hey, look, we got 3 apartment buildings, not 1. Do you want all 3 of these? So on the beginning, it's like, oh, you three apartment buildings at 5% is better than 1 apartment building at 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever it is. And that was our negotiating chip. Like, look what we got.
Not only that, but I already told her, like, the landscaping company that I have, I'm just gonna send you their name and the contract. It's already set up. In fact, it might be better than what you have for all the rest of your buildings. And I'm pretty sure she switched over a lot of her other clients over to the landscaper that we had.
Now, I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to negotiating different things in real estate, whether it's dealing with a property manager or whoever, it's about added value. You come into any negotiation where you're trying to barter with somebody, you always ask yourself, what do they want out of this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How can you add value to their situation? How you put money in their pocket? How do you help them, in social media? How you help them get more followers? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you have something that you want from them, but they're more likely to help you or see it your way if you help them.
Right. I'm so glad you touched on that, because like that's something that whenever we got on the live, we talked about it. Whenever you go in negotiations that way, you have that collaboration mindset.
Yeah,
right.
You're trying to work together to get to a point where we benefit each other.
Yes.
Not just like, let me get what I can get. A parasitic relationship.
Yeah. Right. And this is one thing that's happening right now. Hey, shout out to Makia Dameron. That's our property manager. Like, we're going to continue to expand our portfolio. Like, last year and a half or whatever, we've been more focused on our renovations and stuff like that. And people have seen that, right? Because they see it on TV and all, or whatever. But eventually, we're going to buy some more rental properties, and we'll continue to add to that portfolio. And she's going to benefit from doing right by us. Because the other thing too is the quality of the work she's doing on our behalf. Is she actually doing what we need to do to ensure that our properties are well maintained and that we're getting our checks on time? It's a beautiful thing, man. When you see that direct deposit, like, ding, I'm like, oh, okay, great. No. What was crazy is like the first time the rent got increased, and I was like, I don't even remember asking for a rent increase. I'm happy this is happening. So I hit Makia like, yeah, I just got this letter in the mail saying that the rent got increased by $50 a month. She was like, yeah, I put that in a couple months ago. I'm glad I was like, yes, I'm glad as well. So at the end of the day, like, there's value for us, right? Our time is valuable, right? Because for us, like, the thing for me right now is we need to be at these meetings, right? We just got our shout out to Guarantee Rate, I'm saying, our first corporate sponsor. In order for us to continue to expand our brand and expand our opportunities, we have to physically be out here having these meetings, showing up for these interviews, and networking socials and things of that nature, that's time consuming. So we have to have people working on our behalf, like our property management, and various other people that's on our team. You have to build that team and allow them to do the work, because now we don't have to be there for those things. We can be out here, continue to expand our brand. And like you all, whoever's looking at the Downing Brothers on Instagram, if y'all looking at our Instagram and you see like the events we throwing now and things like that, we're able to do that because we have other people working on a lot of the other work that we,
And I think that's so instrumental, because a lot of people that's in real estate, they will say, I don't want to take that extra experience and pay a property manager, or I can manage my property better than anybody else can.
Right.
But it's so instrumental, like you said, if you really want to build an empire and expand your brand, you have to be able to let go and trust somebody to say, okay, I trust this person to actually build my business, but I'm also trusting them so I can keep on expanding my business myself.
Man, I'm gonna give y'all a key vocabulary word: delegation.
I was about to say,
you got to be able to delegate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's trust comes with that. Delegating to other people to handle what is your money, your financials, But the way, like I say, as we continue to add properties to our portfolio, that's more and more responsibility that that's time consuming, that we don't have to be there for, so that we can continue doing the things we're doing. Because now we're moving into joint ventures. You know what I'm saying? We're having meetings, every week with a different city council member. In Chicago, we're meeting with different developers, and we're trying to figure out, guarantee rate. So it's like all these different things that we're trying to do to put together another team in another way to further expand what we got going on. Yeah.
That's cool.
I also want to pivot to another point, man. So y'all doing all of this, but which one of y'all work fire station?
Well, we both do.
So look, y'all doing all of this, man. Y'all still got a 9-to-5 though. Y'all still working.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know what? We've been fortunate.
We're blessed with a schedule.
Our schedule is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of people, once they would have got to the level that
If
you're
they
at,
was on
they're-
TV, bro.
Yeah.
TV,
I'm
bro.
out.
Hey,
I'm
yeah.
done. But that mindset, y'all, like you said, you're thinking long term.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it speaks to the mindset that you need to have.
Yeah.
You still using the money that you're making from your 9-to-5 to fuel and build your brand more.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Now we got it. Okay, I love being transparent. The transparent part of this is, one, we're single. We have no children, and we got nothing but time. As firefighters, we work 24 hours on, 48 hours off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're only working 8 or 9 days out of a 30-day month. So on those 22 days that we got off, that's when we're hustling. That's when I'm out here making every phone call, answering every text, showing up to every meeting, to make all of these different things, for us to be able to make all these things happen. Plus, it's still difficult for us with our schedule because people want to see us together. Like when one of us shows up, it's always like, well, where's your brother at? Because especially for the first time, like we have to be together because they want to see the Downing brothers, plural. You know what I'm saying? So it's not easy what we're doing, but we do have a special circumstance that allows us to do what we're doing. So I mean, I always like being transparent.
This is my thing too, man. Like we have 6-figure incomes as firefighters, right? Even if your income was $40,000, you need to be able to not only replace that, but increase that before you just quit your job.
Yeah.
Right. Folks be like
prematurely just jumping out there.
I get it, man. Like when we were on TV, a lot of people were feeling that way. Like why y'all still got jobs and all that?
No, that's the thing. I remember when we first walked in here before we pressed record, we was talking about there's social media reality and then there's reality.
Yeah.
And so on social media, it's easy to front. Like you got X, Y, and Z and you're in this position. But then in reality, it's like, okay, what's actually going on? What's actually going on for us is it's better for us to hustle 7 days a week than to just do 4 days a week and then front like we got all this, money and we're all comfortable. Cause like, well, and comfortable is different for different people. And like comfortable for me is, what I'm saying, this making 2.5 times what I'm making right now and then stepping away from the fire department. You know what I'm saying? Not just having what I got now when I step away from it and then I didn't really advance. I just basically got
at the same place.
At the same
ain't
place.
Trying to be at the same place.
No. We got
to be able to say we have a real estate company.
Yeah. So now to talk to us about a year and a half from now. You know what I'm saying? Things, circumstances.
That's why y'all everywhere y'all are now.
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah. For real. But this is the thing. Like, you have to put one. The word is powerful. Like, when you say something, you believe it. Your thoughts change. Your actions change. Man, I'm gonna tell you. Like, when the idea came into my mind, one, let's start this brand. Let's start our website. Yeah. Let's start the podcast, Homecoming with the Downing Brothers. Let's let's start make some merch. All of that stuff started off as ideas that I then spoke into reality and said to my brother, hey, maybe we should start doing this.
It needs to be real.
Then we took the action on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, and for us, like for me, I wake up every morning like, what am I going to do now? What phone calls are we make? Who do we need to follow up with? Where do I need to physically drive to and go do something about, rather than just sitting there in the room, just continue to think about, oh, that'll be great to do. Like, no, you got to take action on everything. And that action will then, you'll start to see. And then when people see the big crowd show up, they think that happened like overnight now? No. What? We was working every day to get to this point where all of this stuff is happening. So you got to go out there and take action. Whoever listening. Man, you got to get out your room, get out your house, and get out there and go get it. Stop just dreaming about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That analysis paralysis is a killer.
I'm really glad you touched on it, because
that was big what you just said.
Like that shit is such a major problem, especially with a lot of people's mindsets. I'm a school teacher, so that's what I do. And a lot of the kids, they have that instant gratification mindset, that just that like, if I do it if I just do what they're doing, it'll be like that. They always got that grass is greener effect. They're looking at stuff for the tip of the iceberg and not the rest of it. They never actually see the work. I'm glad y'all got that call to action on that. It's easy to listen to podcasts. Yeah. It's easy to listen to audiobooks. The hard part is actually going out there and doing this shit, learning it.
And doing it. And look, don't be afraid to start something. For instance, all of us had that first day that we created our Instagram account, and you only had one follower, right? When you start something, you're not gonna immediately have all the attention or receive all the support and all the money. But we all started with nothing. Yeah. And then every day worked on creating the content and creating the plan and creating the event. Every day working to then get to the point where people start to recognize the work. And like our motto is dream, plan, execute. You dream about it first, you create the plan and you write it down. You know what I'm saying? Then you actually take action on it to execute the plan. Yeah. You have to do all three phases though. All three phases.
I think too many people get stuck on the dream, and then they say, well, God is going to make a way. A miracle's going to happen. And then they wait their whole life for a miracle to happen instead of moving to the plan part where you plan for that thing that you were dreaming. Man, God helps those who help themselves.
Amen.
That part.
So how are you helping yourself today?
Amen. But that's so pivotal. It's so vital though, man, because a lot of people, they'll like to say, I got faith. But a lot of people forget that faith without work is dead.
Without works.
You gotta put the works in.
Yeah.
You got to.
You gotta put the works in.
But a lot of people, they want to just, sit back. I'm gonna wait till God, like you said, God didn't tell me my time was ready. But he can't tell you time was ready if you didn't start.
But meanwhile, every day they go home and they sit on their ass for 4 hours and watch Netflix every night.
Mm-hmm. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. Like when I do, it's like I got a special day where I can go ahead and binge three episodes or something like that. But on a daily basis, though, I always ask myself, have I done more work than pleasure?
Yep.
Because the pleasure is going to come. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I like that. I like that.
And I like what you said with the dream, plan, execute, especially even thinking back to what you said, like the story that you were telling us earlier. When you figured out about, okay, this is how long it's going to be to hit on my credit. This is the way for me to get out of it. This is the current situation that I'm in. You did all that planning, but I still know so many people who would have been like, okay, I can finesse it like that. It will work out the 2 years and everything and still wouldn't pull the trigger. They'd be so scared to try to take that risk that they wouldn't pull the trigger on it, and they would just sit there and then let the situation go bad. But y'all dreaming, planning, executing just makes it works out so much better if you just do it those three simple steps.
Bro, you got to be fearless. Like, people need to be brave. People out here acting like they brave. They talk all tough especially on social media. They talk all tough.
Internet games.
Bro, I'm fearless now. And look, your confidence. like I didn't start off completely confident because you got to have a little bit of faith about the unknown. But that faith in the unknown led to jumping out there and actually moving forward with that plan. But man, once it actually happened and it worked, every closing that we go to, it's like it becomes easier. This is a normal thing. Like this isn't like, oh, it's some impossible feat to actually close on a property or to then sell the property for a profit. Now that I know those things, my confidence level just keeps on rising. Like the Downing brothers are fearless, bro. We never had a corporate sponsor. We've never sat in and at one point we had never met with aldermen, or city council members. That's what they call them in Chicago, aldermen. We never met with these people. They had a serious conversation, standing across from somebody who can actually open doors for us. You gotta be fearless though. And then you'll start to build your confidence and realize who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once you're confident in who you are and you know your own value, then everybody else will start to recognize that value. So when I walk into a room, I expect excellence. I expect doors to open. I expect a special phone call. I expect.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
To jump in the DM with the Black Wealth Renaissance and for them to respond to me, because I'm humble. I reached out to y'all, and then y'all responded. You know what I'm saying? I reached out to Earn Your Leisure, and then Rashad responded. I reached out to Rashana, and then she responded. Like, I'm humble. I'm not sitting here like I'm gonna wait for y'all to come reach out to me.
Yeah, we on TV. Then they
let them reach out to us. No,
we waiting a long time.
No, I'm humble. We're humble and we work hard. You know what I'm saying? We're humble and we go get it, and then we work from there.
And I think that's important too, because we're the same way, man. Like we're humble too. We'll reach out to people. We'll try to go talk to people. And a lot of people, whenever they meet us, they're like, oh, y'all just some regular people. But like, yeah, it's like we're not here to put on the front. Even the page, it was never about us. It was always about the movement, the Black Wealth Renaissance.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people are there like, y'all are humble. Yes, because we know it's bigger than us. We're just playing our part to this movement.
That's all we do. The light. That's what we wanted to do. We did what we wanted to shine the light. It's not about us. So
it's working too, bro.
Hey,
yeah, it's definitely working.
That was the main thing we wanted to do. We wanted to create a platform where it was like we see all these dope people. We see the Downing brothers of the world, and we see them doing stuff, and we want to make sure that the world gets to know about it.
Right.
Because it didn't seem like a lot of places were making that a big deal. We're making that a thing to like, okay, let's talk about these Black entrepreneurs that are doing amazing things. So we wanted to highlight that.
Every time I think of it, I think of that J. Cole lyric, bro. I look for heroes, but I see none in sight. Unless he dribble or he fiddle with mics.
Yeah.
But it's like, we gonna show those heroes that's doing work within the community though. Because we do have real heroes who doing some great shit for our community.
Right.
So that's what I wanted to start.
And the fact that you mentioned something about the community actually leads me to the next thing I wanted to ask the Downing brothers about. Now, y'all said something on the interview. Now, I do my little stalking of our guests. I got to go check out stuff. I got to go see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But y'all had said something that I really liked. Y'all said social impact investing. And I wanted to see if y'all could kind of speak on that a little bit more, because like a lot of people always think, oh, if you're talking about getting money, it has to be at somebody else's loss. So it's like, I would like for y'all to speak to that a little bit to kind of explain it.
Yeah, so social impact investing for us is, when we renovate a property in a neighborhood, in the neighborhoods that we grew up on the south side of Chicago, knowing that we're gonna make a boarded up property be of value and bring pride to the community and add value to the community. And then, someone buys that property and they raise a family in it. So we made a social impact because now, and get this, not because of gentrification, but to prevent the neighborhood from going down in the first place.
Oh.
Right. And so now, for us, when we talk about social impact, as our influence has grown and our notoriety has grown within the city, now as we can scale that social impact from just doing one house at a time or one apartment building at a time to, in the future, moving into, redeveloping, vacant elementary schools. We got like 50 vacant elementary schools in the city of Chicago.
54. It was 54 that were closed in the same year.
Same year.
Yeah, they closed all 54 of them. Well, the majority of them were elementary schools. It was like maybe 3 or 4 high schools too.
In Detroit, though, a lot of their like public schools just went.
Right. So, and then what happened is some of them are vacant, and then some of them were they allow charter schools to go into them.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So the thing is, these schools are all spread out across primarily the south side of Chicago and the west side of Chicago. So a social impact for us,
which are the black sides of Chicago.
Right. So the social impact for us is to be able to take one of those vacant elementary schools and then create 40 or 50 affordable housing units, apartment buildings. So now the social impact, are we gonna make money on that? Yes. Let's just be clear about it. We'll make money redeveloping those properties, but at the same time, some of those neighborhoods are neighborhoods where, because the Obama Center is coming, now the rents are gonna go from $1,200 for a 3-bedroom to $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. So now some certain people are not gonna be able to afford to stay in that neighborhood, like in Woodline.
They're gonna get forced out of Woodline. So we were thinking, let's make an oasis. That school can be turned into somewhere between 40 and 50 units apartment buildings that are going to be affordable. Affordable meaning you would need to make $42,000 or less to qualify to get into that unit. And that 3-bedroom would still only be $1,200,
rather than the market rate, which would be between $2,000 and $3,000. So now people who would have had no opportunity to continue to stay in the neighborhood now get to stay in the neighborhood in completely brand new renovated apartments. And now that's senior citizens, that's veterans with vouchers, that's Section 8, or that's people who aren't on Section 8 but make less than $42,000, right? So now they get to stay in the neighborhood. Now imagine the Downing brothers, in partnership, joint ventures with some huge developers doing that around the city. You know what I'm saying? That then allows for people to stay in the neighborhoods. That is the biggest social impact you can make.
And the thing about mixed income buildings like that, 80% of the building will be for people that make $42,000 or less, and then 10 to 15% of it will be market rate. So those people will still be paying $2,500, $3,000, and then Section 8 would be like 5% of the building.
Yeah, so I definitely wanted to ask y'all, how y'all gonna break it down. I know a lot of people, they'll say, you said something at a lower value, people tend to value it less. So I was gonna ask you guys, how do you I know you said interviewing is very, very important, but whenever you got 50, 100 units, that's a bigger, not really.
Right. I can answer that question. In order to keep the value up, one, we're making that property so that it has all the amenities that people look for in nice buildings. So, whether you have a computer lab,
hardwood floors,
a workout facility, a doorman, maybe have some retail, a coffee shop, whatever it is attached to that building. So as we redevelop it, people are proud to live there. It's brand new and it has the amenities that you would find in a very nice apartment building. So that's how you add the value. Plus you're in a neighborhood that's surrounded by the amenities. Because the whole entire neighborhood is going up to $3,000 a month. Completely surrounded by $3,000 a month apartment units, I should say. Yeah, it's happening in Chicago like that.
But
Yeah, and it's all on speculation because a lot of stuff hasn't even, the Obama Center hasn't been built yet. Tiger Woods hasn't redeveloped the golf course yet. It's speculation about when those things come.
But that school, and this is hypothetical, but at that school is only 4 blocks away from the Obama Center location, which means everything around it is going to blow up.
Right. But that's I really like just the full example of what y'all just explained, because a lot of people always think it's invasive, people coming with Starbucks and stuff like that. People think that, but no, it's this is a good, this is Obama Center. This is something that's good for the community. Right. It's bringing stuff in and it's just going to raise the value. And it's instead of sitting there and complaining about it when everybody gets priced out, this is the way that we get in and create, like y'all said, an oasis for our people to be able to live here affordably and then also turn around and be able to enjoy the benefits of the community that just got built up. But it's these are the ways to try to attack that or combat that versus complaining about it.
Right. And then it's we just have to make people aware. It's the awareness factor. Like, and I'm not even talking about our community. I'm talking about make the decision makers, right? The politicians and the corporate entities, aware that this is a way that can be done that the community will appreciate, rather than just come in and just redevelop something, knock something down, and then, there's nothing there for the people who already
originally lived there. Right.
So it's our job to be ambassadors for the community to make these things happen.
And I love it, man.
Being that change.
Instead of being transactional, we need to be transformative. That needs to be the thought process when we become developers. Because moving from being a rehabber to developer is what this conversation that we're having is about. Right. And there's a difference, because really it's a mentality. Like when you're just flipping houses, it's purely transactional. It's like, let me get the property, renovate it, and how much margin, what's the margin for victory, right? Like how much money am I gonna make? But being transformative is like, what impact is that property going to have on the community? And also, could you give up a little bit of that margin to make the property even better by putting the right type of security doors on it, or putting a garden out in front, or whatever type of amenity that the nicer places have? Are you willing to do it just a little bit nicer so that people in the neighborhood are like, yo, the neighborhood is getting better?
And you know something, y'all, this is already going on, and this is already what's been happening. If you don't have those security doors and the things like that, it's because somebody came, they made the money, and they didn't care. That's what we need to do, is start investing in the people that actually care. Like the Downing brothers, our new ambassadors. I'm calling them that from now on.
Let's go. And I'm going to say it on this episode too. Avengers assemble, damn it.
The Avengers are assemble. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all had talked about that on something else that I watched too, and I thought that was really cool. Like how y'all feel like this whole entrepreneurial movement, this renaissance, you may call it.
Yes, it is. It is a renaissance.
It's like it's almost like a superhero movement. You kind of have all these different people, these different characters coming in from different places.
Let me tell you how crazy this is. Our Founders Day was Thursday, September 19th. This past Thursday. You said R, like who? Like Iota Phi Theta. We're members of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated. Yeah. And that same day, I went to go see the mobile home elite investors.
Shout out.
I went to their event, took pictures in front of their screen and whatnot. Man, they had a packed room too. They're making that thing happen. And they got something to say. Yeah, we got to tune in to them. We do too, because we didn't know.
That's like our people. Like that was one of the first episodes that we've ever done, like with the guests.
Oh, okay.
Now
I gotta go back and listen to it. I gotta go back and listen to it.
But no, he was our second guest.
Don't get me wrong. That wasn't the only thing I did. Then from there, I went to go see Rashana Scott for her birthday real estate meetup.
Yeah.
Even though I knew it was Founders Day and I had a party to go to for my fraternity, I made sure I made it to both their events. Right. Then I went to go, celebrate with the bros. Because when we come to each other's events, we're bringing our crowds to each other, these events, and the people that follow us may get the opportunity of a lifetime that they didn't even know about until we decided to come, pull up. Right, and then they all of a sudden they click and say, "Oh, I didn't know about them. Let me learn more about." I put them in my stories. I put both of their events in my stories. Right,
and that's what it's about, though. Like just connecting with each other, and that's what I really look at it as. Like all of us, we like the connecting pieces to actually just helping the community grow and just uplift each other, man. Mm-hmm. So I definitely appreciate everybody.
I'm gonna take it one step further. I'm gonna say it right here on this podcast. Like, okay, next week. We got Earn Your Leisure coming, Rashad and Troy. So you know what I'm going to do when I see them in person? Well, one, they're going to be on our podcast and we're going to be on theirs. We're shooting the same day, together, right? But while I'm there, we connected Mobile Home Elite with them in person because they coming in. We recording that episode too. So now they're going to meet them. Then I'm going to call you all, maybe put y'all on FaceTime so y'all can meet Rashad and Troy on FaceTime and it connects y'all.
We had them on the podcast.
Oh, you already had it. So my thing is, it's like, I didn't know that, but in my mind, that's how we supposed to think anyway, though. In order for the Avengers to grow and for us we got to connect each other. And y'all shouldn't have to ask. Like, we should just do it, right? That's all it's about. Like, y'all, like, I'm not asking y'all don't have to ever ask. Like, when I see somebody that will contribute to the greater cause, to the Renaissance,
I'm gonna connect it, and then hopefully one day, y'all know that old school picture they took it back in Harlem, back in the 30s, 40s, whatever it was. Like, I can't wait for all of us to be able to take that picture together. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah, that boy speaking some affirmations, boy.
May 2020.
Hey, it's coming. Let's do it.
That's all I gotta say.
Let's do it. Whatever he talking about, I'm with it. Gonna be very clear in 2020.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah, 2020 vision, bro. So
clear eye.
Hey, we see you. You know what I mean? So, but y'all, nobody has to ask though. You know, it should just be a mentality of let's share. You know, collaboration over competition. Like, we ain't competing. We not competing with y'all. We all in this together.
Yeah.
Everybody can eat with me on their own lane.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just don't understand that though. Like, they don't realize that you can make a grand spectacle out of everything that you're doing by just showing love to people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By just making sure that you show love to people and you shine your light on other people, you can end up making your light that much brighter.
Facts.
I love that.
Hey, so for everybody out there listening right now, whatever you do, collaborate with other people that's doing what you do. Everybody can help each other to grow your business or whatever your cause is through collaboration. The other thing too, go out here, buy some property, start your business. And if you don't know where to start doing your research, start writing it down, and then go out there and start making it happen, because we may seem special. You may go look and see what we got on our Instagram page, Facebook page, whatever, and think that it's it, but you can do it too. You can do it too.
Anthony, I'm glad you touched on that too, because you talked about ways to invest. We spoke off camera about land banks.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's get into those, like, because we talk about that a little bit, and so we can tell the people a little bit more about those, because we were just learning about land banks ourselves.
Right. So, all right. So let's talk about these land banks. So right now, we have a partnership with Cook County Land Bank Authority. So Chicago sits within Cook County.
Can you tell us, like, first, what is a land bank?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So a land bank is not a financial institution. When they refer to a land bank is actually an inventory of properties that a government agency has accumulated, typically through tax sales.
Yeah.
So the Cook County Land Bank, what they do is in odd years, which is like this year, 2019, they go to the tax sale and they use government funds to bid on properties at the tax sale, and they basically bid on almost every single property. And whatever, you know, and because they bid on so many properties, they get an inventory of properties, which
they got the big bank,
which is the inventory, and that inventory is what the bank is, the inventory of properties. Yeah. So now they got hundreds of properties or thousands of properties that they then turn around and sell at under market value. Some of these properties are, you know, gut rehabs, but some of these properties actually don't require a whole lot of renovation. Either way, though, you're getting their property under market value. So you go and find out if there is a land bank in your community. Usually it's run by the county or the parish, like in Louisiana.
Yeah.
But you find out where a land bank is in your community, and then go through their inventory and go and learn the process of purchasing a property from them.
It's 21st century, so most of them have websites.
Right. Now, with the way, how is it practical for the listeners, right? What you do is you locate the property, and let's say that property is worth, it has an after rehab value of $200,000. But at the land bank, you buy the property for $100,000 because it's under market value. Maybe it requires $50,000 in renovation. What you can do is go to the bank, to a financial institution, and get a renovation loan, a 203K renovation loan, a Fannie Mae renovation loan, and they'll give you the money to buy the property for the $100,000, and they'll give you the $50,000 to do the renovation rolled into one from the land bank. So now you've bought the property, you've done the renovation. Maybe it takes you 90 days, 120 days to do that renovation. But now you have all in a property for $150,000 that you can either live in for you and your family, or turn around and sell at $200,000, because now you got $50,000 in equity.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, though, I'm always want to be real. If you sell it immediately in less than 2 years, you're gonna have to pay taxes on that $50,000 in profit.
Right.
But if you go ahead and live there for 2 years, house hack is a word that's been thrown around, which is what I did. After 2 years, now it may be worth $50,000, may be worth more, because after 2 years you might have a little bit more of appreciation.
Then you walk away tax-free with that check. Now what do you do with that check? Now you can go buy a multi-unit. You can go flip a house. You can go start that business. Go get an SBA loan so you can start, get your franchise of that pizza place you've been eyeing or whatever it is. You got all these options because of that equity. But it all started at going to the land bank and buying a property under market value, and then using the financial, tools and instruments like the 203K to make all of these things happen. It's possible for you. If you're listening right now, you can do this.
And just research everything that he's throwing around, like the 203K and everything. Go research that. Take the time out, write it down. Go on Google and just really go learn. Like you said, it's not hard to learn, man. Google is at your fingertips on your phone. If you don't have a phone, you got public libraries. You can learn if you're willing to learn.
I want to say this too. The 203K FHA renovation loan, pause it if you didn't get that. 203K FHA renovation loan is one of the safest type of loans you can get, because any contractor that does the renovation on your behalf has to be licensed with FHA, and they get their draws. The draws that is generally 3 draws for the first phase of the renovation, the second phase, and the third phase of the renovation, depending on how extensive the renovation is. And that money comes directly to you to then pay them. But the big part, they have to do the first phase with no money.
Out of their own pocket.
They have to do it out of their own pocket, the contractor, which is safe for you because they can't just get 25 grand from you in the first phase and then walk away without lifting a finger. No, they have to do the work first. Then whichever mortgage company you got the FHA loan from sends an inspector to inspect that first phase. And if they are satisfied with that, then the money is released to you to give to them. Right. Then they do the second phase, the checklist of things that you want done.
Line item.
And so now, even for you guys out there that don't want to get into flipping and rehabbing and all that, they just want to have a dream home. This is how you get your dream home. When Anthony did that, the Greystone in Bronzeville, 3,000 square foot home, he had them put speakers in the living room and in the kitchen, the ceilings. He redid 2 out of the 4 bathrooms.
Yeah, 2 out of the 4.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was. Dude, we had so many great parties there. I mean, the surround sound speakers.
Y'all had to have been there, bro. It's lit.
But that's the thing about the FHA loan. It's one of the safest ways to make the house look the way you want it to look.
Right. Now, after you had that experience, once you've made it through all of that, you had that experience, then you can level up because of that experience and that confidence to doing hard money lending, which is what we went to next, which is how we started doing our renovations with hard money, which then led to all these other incredible opportunities that we've had now where people actually pay us to do renovations, and stuff like that. So, but again, the genesis story, right? The origin story, as an Avenger, like how did we become one of the quote unquote Black Wealth Renaissance Avengers, right? It was because of that origin story. You all can do what we did. You can cash flow, as these shirts say. If you guys see it, you can cash flow with multi-units, 3.5% down. You can find a property for 150 grand, and through negotiation, only have to come in there with $2,000 or $3,000. It's possible for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? You can buy a single family home that needs renovation and come to the table with $4,000, right? And then 2 years later, walk away with a check for 80 grand untaxed. You can do that. I'm telling you through experience. I ain't telling you something that's theoretical. You can do it.
This was our story, man.
Yeah, this is our story. And that has created our ability to flip houses and to partner with the Cook County Land Bank and to partner with Guaranteed Rate Mortgage and to, show up on HDTV and then to, have our own podcast and all, everything from the origin though. You got to get your start, but you can do it. I promise you, y'all can do this.
Yeah,
they just laid it out for you step by step.
Y'all better listen to these guys. If you got to, go back and listen to it again.
Yeah. Speaking on HGTV, can y'all explain more about y'all's TV show?
All right, so we be forget about it because I be I'm always
so busy talking about what we doing right this minute.
Yeah. So I mean we felt that was by accident. We weren't how some people are pursuing a TV show like I really want to be on TV. No, man, we was just flipping houses. And one of our buddies that we went to college with,
he's an alpha, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out to Troy Pryor, tall chapter down at University of Illinois. You know what I'm saying? We respect everybody. But Troy, he went to school with us. He saw what we was doing, and he actually helps filmmakers and produce films and things of that nature. And he was looking for a place for a horror movie. So,
do a torture scene for a horror movie. Yeah, crazy stuff, right?
Yeah. So he came through. They looked at the spot, and then while we was out there, he kind of we thought he was joking. He was like, "Hey, I know another alpha. His name Craig Harris. You know what I'm saying? That is a producer, and he has shows on TV already. And they're looking for some talent, and particularly minority talent, for HGTV. Are y'all interested? Like the Property Brothers, blah blah blah." And we looked at him and we kind of giggled, laughed a little bit, like, "Man, whatever, man.
This is a side hustle, man. We firefighters, bro."
Yeah. But now he was like, "No, I'm serious, man. I can put him on the phone right now." And then he put him on speakerphone, like right there. Cause he's like us, like he's like, sense of urgency, got to get it right now type dude. So I'm like, okay, he put us on speakerphone. We did like this, basically, it became like a phone interview almost. He was asking us all these questions about what we do and where we at and what kind of properties we've done and all this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, "Well, you guys sound real interesting, but I need some photos and a bio. Can y'all get that to me tonight? Can y'all email it to me?"
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
So, knowing us though, once we realize something is real and serious, we're like, let's do it tonight. Let's not lollygag and wait another day or two or whatever. We sent it to him the next morning. He hit us back the next morning like, "Oh, this is great. We want to bring a film crew out there to do what they call a sizzle reel." And I'm like, "What's a sizzle?" A sizzle reel, like, a steak or something, sizzling in the pan. No, he was like, "No, sizzle reels, we record for your personality so people can know what y'all sound like and what y'all look like, your character and all this, that, and the other." Right. So they came out like 3-4 days later, did that. But then we didn't hear from him for like 3-4 months. And literally forgot about it. Like, oh, okay. Again, because it wasn't our thing to be on TV. We was just like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So whatever. Then all of a sudden we get a call saying, "Hey, they want more. Like they want us to film some more stuff." So they came out and
they were like, "But this time it needs to be at a finished house." So we hit up our realtor again, Rachel Ruffin. And she was like, "Yeah, I have a house in, I forget what neighborhood that was in, but we went to that person's house and filmed some more stuff. And it made it look like, okay, that first set of footage was at the place we were renovating for real. Yeah. We was tearing stuff down, and this is like the finished product. Because, the sizzle reels, kind of like making an episode that you would make on HGTV, putting that stuff together. Right, so because they wanted more information. So we did that, and then we made it another 3-4 months before we heard from them again. So then it was like, okay, they ain't really real. And then we finally get this call saying, "Hey, HGTV just lit y'all. They got the funding. They want to go ahead and do this show." And then we like, "Yo, HGTV want us? For real?" Yeah. Like, "Oh, okay." Say less.
Yeah. So then, we had to locate a property for us to actually do the renovation, because we really did that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, which was not easy, you know what I'm saying? Everything that could go wrong went wrong, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, we got through that, made it happen, and then, we debuted. They had us on DIY first, back in December of 2018, and then we debuted on HGTV in January, and we had, superb ratings and things of that nature, like, really, I mean, it's a dream scenario and stuff like that. And then the city really came out for us. Like, we did like a showing at the Harper movie theater in Hyde Park on the South Side. Yeah. Had like 400 people show up for that. Like, I'm like, bro, people like really. People
are ready for black folks
to
be on HGTV.
People are ready to see themselves out there like that. And really people, got behind us. And then we did the whole press tour and went on every TV show and went on every talk show and all that kind of stuff. And, it was just surreal, bro. I'm seeing myself on TV. I'm like, this is really happening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, y'all know who Craig Harris is, our producer. Y'all play Mortal Kombat when y'all were younger?
Yeah, definitely.
Get over here, the Scorpion.
Yeah.
That was his voice. He also had he also voiced Jax in Mortal Kombat 2.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So he's an alpha, but he's also Mortal Kombat voices.
119. I'm sorry, y'all had to be here then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. But I mean, look at that collaboration though. You know, don't ever let people say that the Alphas and Iotas can't get along. You know what I'm saying?
All D9 can get along.
That's right.
Right. Honestly.
You know what I'm saying? And actually, okay, let's talk about college campus stuff. Like, yo, collaboration over competition, man. How silly do we look when we up here arguing or don't want to work together, don't want to support each other, especially when you're at a predominantly white institution? We look like fools.
And that was when I was in PhD president
Okay.
at my campus.
All right.
And that was one of the biggest things I really spoke on. It was like, man, we all split up. We need to unify and we really need to come together because we all look alike. We just in different colors and different letters, but we all really pushing the same agenda.
Right.
We all want to make a difference.
Yeah.
We all want to supply community service.
Right.
We all are here to help motivate, uplift, transcend, whatever you want to do to the world.
And graduate.
I was waiting on graduate.
And graduate.
Most of all.
So why do we all have to be beefed out or doing some silly bullshit?
Man, we gotta be mature, man. Like we need to be more mature, and I think that's one of the things too. Like we went on a tangent.
It's easier to say that now that we're like
now that we're a little bit older,
removed.
But if we all have a chance to go back to our chapters and holler at the bros that are currently in chapter, like we have to let them know that y'all gotta grow up and see the bigger picture, and do programming that matters, and do your best to try and extend olive branch to the rest of the organization so that we all look better, because at the end of the day, they don't care about our colors and stuff like that. They see all of us as black men and women on campus, and are we going to give them the all-American image, or are we going to give them some foolishness? You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to. So when we go back, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. And the thing is, I'm not afraid to go talk to the undergrads, to the undergrad alphas or Kappas or whoever. When I come on campus, I'm talking to everybody, not just the Iotas, you know what I'm saying? So like we gotta all do better. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why, let's bring it back to this, that's the reason why the Renaissance matters. Because we need to all look better. We need to all push an agenda that brings all of us up. You know what I'm saying? Not just individually, but as a community. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what's important to us. And I think the more we bless people with this free game, but that's what we've been starting to, push our hashtag free game. But the more free game we give, it uplifts all of us. And when all the boats rise, we all are going to take advantage of that.
I love it.
Yes.
I love
it.
Yeah.
So on that note, we're going to pivot to the last segment of the show. Okay. We didn't warn y'all before. Pardon us. We do a segment called What's on Your Timeline. So we just normally ask our guests, what's something you've seen on social media, either that you posted or somebody else posted that you thought was impactful, or important, something you just want to speak on, you know?
Think about this. Man, I wish y'all had told me before we started the episode.
Our fault, bro.
Well, this is the thing. So like on our Downing Brothers page, like all we do is follow other like influences within business and renovation. Like we don't have all that nonsense. We don't follow all those nonsense pages. So what I like right now is I see there are a lot of people doing education seminars and stuff like that in cities all across the nation, and I'm getting best practices from that. You know, seeing what other people are pushing, like how they're doing their seminars, and being creative with it. I see people starting to do dinners. What's his name? It's a cat out of Philadelphia. June. What's his name? June something. But this brother, he's a developer now. And he started when he was in college. So he went to school right there. I think he went to Temple. Yeah, he went to Temple. And he started doing, just like us, he renovated a house. And then it just kind of like, he fell in love with it and started escalating his process. And he scaled now. And now he's got a construction company and he's doing a bunch of stuff. He got an event space. He did a seminar where it was a dinner. And I'm like, yo, that's a creative way to do it. Like you do an Eventbrite, you do a dinner, people pay for it. I mean, it ain't free for the food or for the game. But he did that, and he had like 25 people. You can see them sitting at the table, and he got the little PowerPoint up there, this, that, and the other. But creative ways to educate people and get people interested in this movement, which is to create more entrepreneurs and more real estate investors and businesses in our space. And so I see people like what he's doing, and he's in Philly, and I don't know that market at all. But I like what he's doing, and I know we can apply those best practices to where we are.
Love it. Got anything, bro? Yeah.
You know what? I think that really addressed, and I don't know why I thought you were talking about like Doug
Pete.
No, not Doug. Shout out to Doug Pete. Yeah.
I think that's how he's Doug Depp. Yeah. That's how you.
It's Doug Depp.
Yeah, Doug Depp. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not looking at a phone right now, so I mean, I can't
get his name wrong.
Yeah, Doug Depp. Yeah, I love what I see from Doug Depp. And, you know, I want to collaborate with him. You know what I'm saying? All these people that's out there on the East Coast, he on the East Coast, right? DMV or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah. But
he's dope too.
Yeah, he's dope too. And like I'm learning from seeing what they're doing. I'm saying, oh, we can apply that to what we're doing in Chicago. You know? So yeah. I think what you take in visually on social media is super important. Like eliminate all the video vixens and all the gangster world star bull. Like eliminate all of that. Unfollow all of that, right? And then you follow Black Wealth Renaissance. Okay, follow Doug Depp, the Downer Brothers, Ty Millionaire. Like follow
Blacker Pockets. Follow
Investor.
Yeah, follow Chris.
Chris
Investor
Senegal,
with no vowels, bro.
Yeah.
I think all you got is an E.
Right. Right. You know, follow people that are going to teach you something and eliminate all the rest, because now that's the only thing that's coming into your mind is things that are going to push you forward, that are going to educate you. And that's been super important for me, because now I stay motivated every day. Like when I open up the Downing Brothers page and I go and see the people, the pages that I'm following, it's nothing but food. I'm getting that food every day. And that is like, okay, let me get on that. Let me do that. You know what I'm saying? I love when I see y'all pop up on my page and I see a little video or a snippet or whatever y'all post. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I need that. That's that, you know, that really refreshes me.
Well, we appreciate it, bro. Also plug yourself into where the people can follow y'all. I know y'all mentioned, you know, y'all page the Downing Brothers, but everything else that y'all doing, if y'all have a website, just how they can keep up and follow y'all, man.
Yeah, man, our website is just that straightforward, thedownningbrothers.com. Yeah. TheDowning brothers.com. You can go there and you can see, you know, learn more about us from our bio.
Our merch is on there. We started, you know, our web, you know, we have some of our interviews from WGN. Yeah. And actually that our last seminar that we just did, I just had that posted up there. So, so you can learn more about what we got going on there. And then also
our Instagram is the exact same thing.
Yeah, the Downing Brothers. And our Facebook page. So go to all of those things to see what we got going on. And, you know, if you ever making a trip to Chicago, go on our page, because we always got something going on.
Yeah, we do a monthly event.
And hit our DM. We respond to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we will respond. Don't be afraid. DM us. You know what I'm saying? Let's link up. Let's make something happen.
Yeah.
Oh, DM us with deals.
I was about to say, don't DM me with no bullshit.
Yeah,
because
we do get a lot of DMs like we Oprah. Yeah, could you pay our grandmother's taxes and maybe even renovate it for us, because you know we really need y'all help. I'm like, we can make money together.
Yeah,
but it can't be just a complete charitable action, because
we want to get to that level someday. But if y'all want us to get to the level where we can bless people like that, y'all got to get us.
We need to work together.
Yeah. Man. But let's get into some house cleaning before we wrap up this episode, man. Once again, we want to thank the Downer Brothers for coming on this episode of BWR. We appreciate the availability to just link up together, man. Jared, David, Kelly, everybody, y'all follow our Instagram at Black Wealth Renaissance. Go to our website, blackwealthrenaissance.com. You can get some great courses that we're providing. You can go to some of the resources. We got the calculators. We got realtor directories. What else we got?
These dope cash flow shirts.
We got merch.
We got the cash flow shirts.
We got to send them some merch too.
I will definitely be wearing that shirt.
Hey, yeah. What else we got, Kelly?
We got to send them some merch.
We on it.
We on it.
And a special shout out to the Hut for hosting us with the podcast today. We just want to make sure we give them a shout out. Black-owned facility in New Orleans.
Yeah. So if y'all need a recorder in New Orleans, y'all definitely come to the Hut. Y'all can go to the website. It's thehut.com. Anybody else got anything?
Oh yeah. Last thing I got for y'all is just the Patreon. Once again, Patreon is just another way to support the podcast. We always talk about trying to get out into other people, or really trying to spread the podcast, not just the podcast, really the knowledge and the network, and get people to come together with one another so that they can grow and lose smoke on this episode. So if that was something you're looking to do to support us so we can go to the city, be there, that's patreon.com/THEWR. Just to get extra content, starting at $1 a month. Just another way to support Black Wealth.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, if we ain't got nothing else, this is Black Wealth Renaissance signing out. Peace.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.